Hi, this is Cindy with Energized Living today, and Farris is here. He is
Farris.
coming from his hotel room. You know, I've never been in a hotel room like that, Farris, where they put needles in your arms. Well, I guess that actually probably happens a lot now that I think about it. Anything you want to say to everybody this morning?
I am just glad to be here and humbled to be here. The amount of work that so many people have been doing on my behalf is not going unnoticed. So thank you all so much. Coming to you from my abode here in the south of France.
I love it. Well, last night, I had a very vivid night, lots of activity. And Farris, I have a question for you. Were you talking to me all night?
You know what? I don't know. I was, and I guess busy is a good way to put it. I was really busy all night, not just with, my regular dreams, but I don't remember any of them, any of it.
Well, I
I
kept
just
hearing your
remember
voice.
it was a very energetic night.
Well, it was for me too. And then I got up this morning and I checked in with the World Viewing Room where Farris is in the healing prism, which looks like a pyramid. And when I went in there, instead of just his etheric body being there, he was there fully. I saw the glow still, so his etheric body's there, and so is his physical body. So one of the things that Masami said the other day is that Farris has always lived outside his body, which I know to be true. He said that since the day I met him. It's one of the first conversations that we had. He had a hard time being in his body. And last night, or this morning, I called Farris and I said, did you work on uniting your physical body and your etheric body? And he said, yes. And I went to sleep with that. So I saw that this morning. Is there any comments you want to make on that, Farris?
No, it's just, in my defense, it's not easy living in this body.
I think there are days we could all say that.
Yeah.
Well, I had two people visit me in the night. Well, one person and the other person showed up this morning. And the first one was this lady standing on a hill, and she's throwing something down, and I wasn't sure exactly what it is, but I must be at the bottom of the hill looking up at her, and she has kind of just this quirky smile, not like a big smile, but this quirky smile. And she had dark hair with a big bun, and she was wearing a flowered shirt with belled sleeves, and she had big glasses that told me that it was the 70s. Somehow I knew this was the 70s. So she must have really enjoyed the 70s, whoever she was. And it might have been the 60s, 70s kind of a look. So I didn't know who she was. So I asked Farris who that is. And Farris?
Well, like I said, from the hair, it sounds like Missa. That's my sister, my big sister, who's no longer with us. And from the energy, it could have been Lizzie. That's my mother. It could have, well, from the energy, it could have been either one. But it just sounds more like Missa to me than anything.
Well, a little while ago, Farris, another lady walked in, and she um, was smaller in stature and short hair, short gray hair. And she also wore glasses, but I didn't really get to see her face because she was looking at Missip. Was your mom smaller than her?
Oh yeah,
Was she?
yeah,
Okay. Because this
yeah.
woman was very slight, and she came walking into the scene just like, didn't mean to interrupt, but supper's ready. I don't know. Just kind of that energy. And so they are here, and they're putting down, what Missip was doing is putting down seed. And I don't know if it was seed to grow something in like grass or something, or if it was bird seed. It felt more like it was bird seed, something to bring in the wildlife. And then there were a bunch of other people that started gathering around. Once your mom showed up, there was a bunch of other people that started showing up and just watching her put down the bird seed. So I don't know what that means. But the other woman is, I'm positive it's Missip, and I'm positive now that it's your mom, and she was very slight.
She and I would be about the same size.
I thought it was cool that they showed up on Mother's Day. And to all of you who are mothers or have a mother, happy Mother's Day. There was somewhere, and I want to find this, Farris, in some language, and it seems like it was Aramaic, but I can't be sure in my studies, when we talk about the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Spirit, they said, means giver of life, which is mother. So being raised Catholic, it never made sense to me, even as a kid. Why would you have three male energies when you can't have life without mother? So when I read that, it really stuck with me. So spirit is the spirit of life. And I want to find that again and see what language it was in, because when that was first written, it was written in a different language, and then it was transcribed and it became male. And that's what it was, male energy, which is what this was saying. And I don't know if it was Bart Erdman or who it was, Farris, but I looked it up after they said it, and it confirmed it. And now I can't find my notes, but I'm going to believe that that's what that meant, because it makes more sense.
Yes, it does.
The Father, the Son, the Mother. And of course the Son can be daughter also. It can be child, father, son, or father,
Progeny.
child, mother.
Progeny.
Yeah. So that is the energy that I feel today, is spirit, the spirit of mom. And I want you to now visualize the Mother Mary. She's the Divine Mother. And she represents for me unconditional love. And I would like all of you now to feel that unconditional love. Growing up, I talked to the Mother Mary all the time. And of course, being Catholic, we did, because there was a chain of command. That's the way that I always felt it for years, until I was told that I could go directly to God. But I always talked to Mother Mary, and then I felt like Mother Mary went to Jesus and Jesus went to God. It just seemed like that was the kind of the the chain of command. And I still always went to Mary, because she felt like such a healer, like the mother's touch, a mother's kiss, a mother's unconditional love. And I would like to just take a moment and have each of you reflect on what that means for you.
Renee says unconditional love.
Yep, unconditional love. Yes. Are there other comments that you want to read?
Well, Mary commented earlier about mothers. I think seeds of renewal, rebirth.
Mm.
James says, no, we like to listen to you. And Masami is listening in. She's on the call, just so you're aware. She says, she said something earlier about I get a strong yes. Also, you are doing it, Farris. Keep up the good work.
Good.
That's about all. I mean, it's just, people are glad to see Farris is here, Farris at the spa, and so, but but anyway.
Call it Life Spa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I just think it's great that we honor, mothers and fathers, because, there's a lot of work that goes into each role. And it's nice to have a special day. I'm going to go on videos. I don't know if some people are aware, but like, for instance, in the UK, they actually celebrate Mother's Day in March, not in May. And Maureen put in the comments was tenderness, forgiveness, nurturing.
Mm. And what you said, Mary, really spoke to me, that this was seeds of rebirth. And Farris just found out this morning that he's actually getting, Farris, why don't you tell about the heart valves that you're getting?
Oh, there was some not controversy. I was under the impression that I was going to get mechanical. There's different kinds of heart valves, different materials that they're made from. There are mechanical valves, which are actually either made out of plastic or metal. And then there are tissue valves, which are made out of tissue from either cows or pigs. They are not valves from the hearts of cows or pigs. They are valves made from the tissue from cows or pigs. I was under the impression that I was going to get mechanical valves, which I'm not real crazy about, because even though they have a much longer lifespan, virtually indestructible, you have to take blood thinner for the rest of your life. And you have to maintain a certain level of blood thinner constantly to keep clotting from forming on the mechanical moving parts of the valve. With the tissue valves, the blood thinner is not required, which means and apparently I am going to get tissue valves, which means a whole lot to me, because maintaining a constant level of blood thinner to me just seems like a nightmare, and it also means not eating turnip greens anytime I want to, because turnip greens are very high in vitamin K, which is a coagulant. And they are also one of nature's most perfect foods. So there you go.
Maybe.
Oh, and there's also the fact that when you lay down and be real quiet, you don't hear them clicking as they open and close. And the mechanical ones, you do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and especially if you've got two of them going, it would probably sound like castanets.
That's funny, Farris. Hey, he keeps us entertained. He's that guy, that humor guy.
Little flamenco humor there. That's so stupid.
James wrote, "That is no fun. I just had a stent put in and I'm in, on blood thinners for 6 months or more."
Yeah, it's a pain, man.
Farris, I feel amazing about this new therapy. That's Masami. Yes, I do too.
Well, good, thank you.
And Penny put something there. I can't see what it is. Oh, a flamingo dancer. I love it. I love it. I'd go with the cow or the pig valve. It's
Yeah,
indestructible.
Well, you know, it's like I was talking to my main man here that he's kind of the ground control for me. And if I was 25, then yeah, go with the mechanical, even though you have to fool with all the blood thinner stuff forever, because it would probably never have to be replaced again. But I ain't 25. And the one that's in here has lasted 13 years already.
Yeah.
I just kind of screwed it up is all.
If they get in there and everything looks good and they can just scrape off the stuff, can they do that?
I don't know. I'm gonna make sure he's got a X-Acto knife so he can try if he wants to.
What was this?
I'm sorry.
Oh, the tongue scraper. Oh my gosh, Penny. Okay, Masami.
So from lunch Monday, I've got to save a teaspoon for him for the surgeon.
Hand it to him when he comes in. You guys are so funny. Animal tissue therapy is absolutely supportive to the human tissue. You are making the choice based on life this time. You guys crack me up.
Sorry.
That's okay. What I was going to say is, in the world viewing room is the pyramid, the prism, the healing prism. And as Farris is there, you can send your energy there because he is there, and he is now whole. His etheric body and what I saw as a shade, the shade of him, it makes so much more sense now after Masami was on the other day and what I was seeing, and that now he has come together and he is whole and he is in that prism, and it amplifies the healing powers of what we send. And so continue to send it there. And if you have someone to pray for, just lost a loved one, so you can put people in there that are grieving, people that need healing. You can sit in there yourself, which I did. I sat in there for a while. And whoever needs to be in there, you just, it's just weird. It's like one person just kind of fades into the background and I can get in there and sit, and so any of us can get in there anytime, or we can put somebody in there for healing, and it's available to you anytime. So I just wanted everyone to know that. Today, when we go there, we are going to be seeing the cylinder. And I want to just share there what the downloads that I've been getting in recent weeks. And Farris is going to help explain part of this because he's involved in all of this and understanding the history of it. So I would like everyone to please just close your eyes and calm your body. Just roll your shoulders for just a moment. Releasing any tension in your shoulders. Move your jaw from side to side. Releasing any tension in your jaw. And let it just relax in a slacked position for a moment. As you move down your spine, just one vertebra at a time from the base up, just allow it to relax and activate each of the chakras. From the base to the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, and open the seventh fully and expand out to all the other chakras. Envision the world viewing room where there is a beautiful arched window. And through that window, you can see the world. Any area that you focus on will light up. Take a moment and from the viewing room, find you on the map. And just focus. And now envision the cylinder in the middle of the room. And today it is pretty clear and pretty calm. There's some floaties in there, but not a lot. But just focus on the cylinder and calm and clear the water in silence. When the water is clear and calm, you are experiencing unconditional love. A mother's love. Divine love. Know that in the bottom, there will always be some sediment that represents fear and judgment, self-righteousness, any negative emotions that can control us and keep us from divine love. And this can be stirred up at any time. Anytime you feel these things being stirred up, come to the world viewing room to calm and clear the water. Take a nice deep breath into the lower lobes, where you will experience that relaxation response. And again, nice deep breath. And one more time. And now you can either open your eyes as I share, or you can keep them closed. On April 27th, I had words appear to me. Whenever I get divine downloads, they always start with just a word or two. That day I heard July 7, 77,000, Light Brigade. I have come to understand that the 7th of May, I was thinking that it was July, the 7th month, but the 7th of May would mark the 77,000 confirmed cases of people dying from the coronavirus. The July means that 77,000 people will die in July from the coronavirus if no changes are made. The Light Brigade, when I was taking a shower and I was focused on the divine downloads that I have been given, coming from the Creator, the I Am. And that was made very clear to me. And I was told that I was not alone, that I had the Light Brigade. And I just heard the words Light Brigade. And I asked, what is the Light Brigade? Is this another group that I'm channeling, or what is this? And I asked, and I heard, ask Farris. And I tried to figure it out, and I thought, oh, the Light Brigade, what a cool name. And, you know, maybe Sheila has Theo, the group of 12 archangels, maybe the Light Brigade is this. And I was trying to, it went to my head, and I started trying to figure it out. And I heard, ask Farris. So after I got out of the shower, I called Farris. And I was told that Farris would know. So I called Farris. And Farris, would you explain who the Light Brigade is?
Actually, I had intended to do a little more brushing up on my history. And then I got to the point where I thought, screw it, no, I don't feel like it. So I'm going to tell you what I know from memory. The Light Brigade, the charge of the Light Brigade, as it's known, was during the Crimean War. The Light Brigade was a light cavalry brigade. Frankly, I don't remember the difference between a light cavalry brigade and a heavy cavalry brigade.
I do know that if you want me to share it.
Okay.
The Light Brigade had a saber, and in fact, I looked this up again, and they were mounted, and they had a saber and lances. And Heavy Brigade had more artillery.
They had field artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they were both cavalry, though.
Yes.
The system in the British Army, at least at that time, was that commissions, officers' commissions were purchased. They were usually second or third sons or fourth sons or whatever of rich people. And since they weren't going to inherit the estate, they would purchase a commission in the military, which means you get a lot of crummy military officers, usually with very big egos. The whole thing of the charge of the Light Brigade was that the brigade was to charge an enemy artillery installation at the end of a valley. As it turned out, they should not have, and it was more a mix-up of communications than anything. And it was a disaster. The charge was a disaster. They were charging into artillery, and as the poem goes, the guns to the left of them and guns to the right of them, or whichever way it goes. As far as this is concerned, I've thought about it and thought about it, and when you said Light Brigade, my first thought was a brigade of light workers. But the take from the historical event, and I guess there are several, and to me, one of the main ones is the potential waste of heroism when it's blind. They followed their orders, even though their orders were actually mistaken. The potential waste of heroism when the leadership is corrupt. Not to mention just the whole total waste of warfare. Anyway, that's what I know.
When Farris told me, I didn't understand it. So he said there was a movie. I was told that I was going to write a poem. And then when I said that, then I was told that there is a poem.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to download another poem as soon as I can be still enough so that they can channel it through me. And there's been a lot going on. So I will share that in the future as soon as Farris gets past his surgery this week. And I can calm enough to be able to channel it. And
Yeah.
that Prem said 77,000 in the US. Yes, in the US alone.
No, I think she said 77,000 of us.
Oh, of
Not
us.
you.
Oh, I thought she meant of the US. Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so. Yeah. The Light Brigade, when I started researching and found out that the Light Brigade went up against, and this was the British Army, and they went up against Russia with very little to battle their cannons. 600 of their soldiers died, all of them died, and all they had was their sabers and their lances. In today's world, we have lots of heroes, lots of our soldiers dying. Because they don't have heavy artillery. They are sent to the front lines with a used mask and very limited PPE.
Oh, shit.
Not only in the hospitals, but the emergency vehicles out there, the police officers, the firemen, they're all working. Without any artillery. And at the top is a very corrupt leader. And nothing is being done for them. There was another phrase that I did not understand that I asked Farris about. And I said, I don't know what it is. All I knew was the word hope. And he told me about forlorn hope. And Farris, do you want to tell everyone about forlorn hope?
I'm not sure why this came to mind when you asked me about it, but forlorn hope was the name given to the front of an attacking force in the British military who pretty much, if you were attacking a fortification, somebody's got to go first. And usually the people who went first were people who were on criminal charges or who were up against disciplinary issues or whatever. And since they pretty much didn't have a whole lot of chance, they were called the forlorn hope. And by going in the fore, it was a way to what's the word I'm looking for?
Break down the
a way to make up for whatever they'd screwed up. I can't think of the word. You know what I'm talking about.
well, the way that I understand it, or that I'm being told, it's to weaken. The front ones are to
Redeem. Thank you, James. To redeem themselves.
redeem. Oh, okay. But it's also to weaken the enemy a little bit, so that when the trained soldiers got there,
Yeah, they're the bullet catchers.
yeah, they're the bullet catchers. The forlorn hope in today's world are prisoners. There are people working in meatpacking companies. They are the elderly in the nursing home. And they're dying in numbers. And the Light Brigade is doing everything they can to save their lives. And in the process, many of them are also dying. Because this time we have an invisible, we call it an invisible enemy. The Light Brigade is with us right now. This is our army, the people that are crossing over, that are not surviving. We have an army all around us. And those of you in the world viewing room now, look around and you will see them and you will feel them. They are with us and they will be guiding us. They are our Light Brigade. And for those who were the forlorn hope, they are now part of that Light Brigade on the other side. So we have Light Brigade, that is the army that's with us to help us understand and strengthen us as we go forward in the coming months. We have the Light Brigade that is still here on Earth, charging in. That is helping to save lives, even when they have very little PPE, testing, whatever it is that they need, they're going in anyway. And right now, I just want to take a moment to send out our love and our prayers and strength to the people on the front line, the Light Brigade. For all of you in the Light Brigade, I want to thank you. We are so grateful for your service. I know you are exhausted, that you also have fear. That this may affect you too. And yet you continue to charge in there and do your job. Do your service. Know that those who have already crossed, who are the Light Brigade, are with you, helping you to stay strong. And on those days when you feel like you're going to have a meltdown, call on them, and they are there for you, giving you strength, giving you more courage than you're feeling in the moment, reminding you of who you are. You are the Light Brigade. You are the ones that are helping us in these very difficult times. And for the forlorn hope, those who are dying, you too are part of the Light Brigade. There is redemption. And we love you. I would like to, while we're here in the World Viewing Room, if anybody has any comments that they would like to share. Carla?
Wow, that was powerful. And I don't know if Masami's still here or not. And all of you who are intuitive can let me know how you feel about this. but there is a woman out there. Her name is Jill Matson, Matson, and she is giving out free tracks. And if you look at her work and her mentor's work, it is really substantiated. But she has 18 tracks that she's giving for free that is supposed to shield you from the coronavirus. And when I go out, I have it in a very low setting when I go to the store and things like that. It is absolutely beautiful music. The first track sounds like angels, and I've put it on a loop. And I was very distracted yesterday. I have no idea where my brain went, but I got in the house and I hadn't washed my hands. Like, who does that? And I'm putzing around the house, and all of a sudden I got this horrible pain in my stomach, and it came to me like, you know, go wash up. I also like essential oils, and there is the thieves oil from the days of the I'm a little combobulated today. There's the thieves from the plague, which and then there's a new what they call pirates one, where they add oregano and something else. I'll have to look that up as well. And I sprayed my pirates spray on, and I washed up, and I really almost feel like I had the virus, that I had been, I don't know. My mom died in February, so I'm a little distracted for Mother's Day right now. And I'm doing better. My sister's was kind of her caretaker, so she's really having a hard time. So I'm kind of like not 100% in this whole, like, you know, what's going on in the world right now. And I find that, you know, everything that we can get is helpful, but Jill Matson. And
can you get us the link, Carla? Can you the link of where we would go to get that? And you can post it on Facebook.
Yeah, and she's easy to find. Jill is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jill is really easy to find.
And we've had her on before, haven't we, Farris?
Yes. Yeah, we did.
And she works with Sherry, Sharry Edwards. So if you look up the two of those, you'll find it. I am so not computer savvy.
We'll find it and we'll post it on Facebook, everybody. And I'll see if I can find it, and we'll put it in the newsletter too.
And I can run and get my my pirate thing, and I can give you the ingredients, because if you go to the health food store, if you go for the thieves, it's a lot of it's out, but you can buy the individual. Let me just grab it. It's in the other room.
Okay. And while she's gone, let's. Did you have a comment, Andrew?
Yeah. Well, first of all, how do you? Okay. When she comes back, I'll get the last name so I can search it online. And I did a search online for the Forlorn Hope, and you know, I take with a grain of salt when I read stuff from Wikipedia, but the last sentence sort of I don't know if it rings true, but what it said was that such a band is also known as the Enfant Perdu, which translates to lost children. So I just, you know, when I saw that little bit, it sort of like popped out at me, and I almost, you know, for myself, I sort of feel like the Light Brigade are the nurses, the ones that are helping um, to help solve or to help with the people that have the coronavirus, and then probably and so that's what my thought is, and also the people like us who are sending light to heal the light workers, because it's a, for us it's a different term than what it is online, because online it's like the military term, but for us I look at it as a Light Brigade, as light workers, and those that are doing good to help with sharing the knowledge to respect this.
And
So
that's the key that I keep getting. And it's a neon sign. This is about not fearing it. It is, we've got to stay strong in this, everybody, as we go through this next phase, and understand that we must respect this. We must. That's what this virus is asking, to teach us. It's about teaching us about respect again. And not fear, but respect. And for those people who are facing real fear because their lives are in danger, they're the ones that are charging in with very little PPE. And like I said, they're the people at the nursing homes, the workers at the nursing home that don't have PPE. They are the nurses in the hospitals, and the doctors, and the clinicians, and the attendants. I mean, they're all the staff there. They're the ones that are the Light Brigade. The police officers, the firefighters, you know, anybody that's of service where they're coming in contact, the caretakers that are caring for the bodies. They're also light workers. They're dealing with not having enough of what they need and going in and caring for these bodies. So yes, Andrew, that's who it is. And
Linda posted the link.
Have here.
Linda posted the link to Jill's website in the chat, and she also commented, "I have 2 parents right now hanging in the balance. It's just prayers and a waiting game at this time. Very emotional days of up and down for our whole family."
So I want to send love and energy and place them in the prism, the healing prism, here in the light room, in the world viewing room. Just send your healing energy. Do we have any other comments?
Yeah, Camille says Eden's Garden has a similar blend called Fighting 5. And then Marsha says, I use Now brand called Nature's Shield. Same 5 essential oils, a lot less expensive. I have oregano oil, but glad to hear of the other ones in pirate oil. Shirley goes, be the light that you wish to send. Linda says, thank you. And Carla has her hand up.
Carla, go ahead and unmute yourself, Carla.
So the ingredients in the Divinity Pirates Protection Mist, which is from Ray Silby, S-I-L-B, it's either E-Y or Y. The ingredients are purified water, and everything's organic and wild crafted. Clove, cinnamon, lemon, rosemary, eucalyptus, peppermint, and oregano.
Oregano is magical, you guys.
Yeah, oregano is really magical.
Clove
And
and I
yeah.
actually mixed my own, and it was funny because
Yeah.
I mixed my own, and oregano was not in the original recipe, and I felt so strongly that
Yes.
oregano
Yeah.
was a key to this.
Yeah, I didn't have oregano in mine, and when I got this from Ray, it had oregano in, and I bought the oregano, and for some reason, that's like a secret sauce right now. The oregano really, and those of you who are more intuitive than me can probably think of maybe another essential oil to make it less expensive, because it gets so expensive buying all that. But the oregano seems like a real deal breaker. If I don't know how anyone else wants to comment, but if you only had money for one, I don't know, the oregano just really sits with me as well. But it would be lovely if the workers could bring their cell phones with them and have the music playing in the background to shield themselves. That is so easy. You know, when they're fighting for protection, they can bring their own protection through the oils and the sounds. And wouldn't that be a wonderful world, you know, if they didn't have, you know, my sister works in a hospital, and when this first came out, they refused to let her wear a mask, you know, until they found out that it was airborne. I mean, the early, you know, people really made some bad decisions and administrative kind of things. Thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I love this group. I love this group.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm just so glad you brought up the oregano, because I just went like this when you said it. It's magic to me, and I put oregano in everything now. Right now, I oregano chicken and eggs, and I just add it to my diet. If you grow the herbs yourself, put it in everything and really support your body. Andrew, you want to go ahead and answer the question?
Bonnie sent a message saying Anselina wants to say something. I don't know if that's
Okay.
I don't see her hand up. So if she wants to talk, unmute yourself.
Okay, I just wanted, I had the oils for the teas, and it is just what she said. So that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. Okay. James says, Trump was in my dream last night. He has other things on his mind, not this. Cherry says, also bee propolis, Beekeeper's Naturals, is excellent. And the biomolecular molecular oxygen from microformulas as a neti pot rinse.
Yes.
And Shirley goes, the oregano oil should be food grade so you can add it to soups and stews.
And remember Mountain Rose. They're wonderful. I love their essential oils. All organic from Oregon.
Okay, so Penny mentioned about your sister in her comment. Thieves Oil is a Young Living brand product, but as she said, others have the same recipe that was used during the plague. Cindy, your sister mentioned Thieves Oil when she was on our call. Another company who makes it is called Bandito's Protective Mist by Kate's Magic. I got that at health food store. Essential oil ingredients are clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, white sage. I agree about oregano too. Yes, love Mountain Rose.
Yeah, great.
And that's all the comments and no hands. So.
What I want to say is, you know, here in the World Viewing Room, I am going to get this music and I'm going to play it there. When I do my meditation, I'm going to play it there so that even if these workers do not hear it, they will hear it. Because in the World Viewing Room, whatever we send out, this is a place where there is no judgment. This is a place that is pure of thought and mind. And that's why, you know, the Creator asks us, the I Am asks us when we go in there to start with the clearing the water, clearing our mind and our thoughts and our judgment before we view the world. Because when we view the world as it is, we will judge that. It's hard. It is not easy. So start every time that you come to the world viewing room, and you don't have to do a lot. Just be there. Just envision and you're there. And clear the water, calm the water before you look out into the whole of the world. And once you do that, then you can send this love and light out to all of the Light Brigade, to all of the sick, to the forlorn hope, to the lost children, the people that other people think are expendable. In the government, they think that those people are expendable. They are not. And they too are the light workers. They are part of the Light Brigade. So play that music when you go there. And, you know, you can have your essential oils there as well, however you like to do that. If you, you know, if you miss them, however you do that, you can do that in the room as well when you go there and just send it out. So if they're not using it, they still benefit.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Cindy from Asami.
I love coming to this room. I always feel so peaceful here. I have come to know that in the beginning of the year, and for those of you who followed my videos that I was doing, and when I was really sick, when I had COVID-19, and I started astral traveling because I needed to be out of my body. I'm one of those people, I have a hard time sitting still. That's why even when I work, I rock, because I have a hard time just sitting still. It's difficult. So when I was needing to heal my body, I started astral traveling, and that's when I was taken here to the world viewing room so that my body could heal, so it would sit still long enough to heal. And at the beginning of the year, when I looked into the year, into the future, I didn't see me there. I didn't see Farris there. I was taken to the world viewing room because I was supposed to stay. And it was my choice. We have free will. And I made it through that, not knowing what was going on with my body, just that I was deathly ill. And every time I came here, the next day I would be doing, or that afternoon, I would do a video because I felt so good, so renewed, so recharged. And so if you're feeling bad, come to this room, the world viewing room, because it is a healing room. And I see me at the end of the year. I also see Farris at the end of the year now. He has connected his body, his etheric body, with what I saw as a shade, a choice. So he will be here. If he so chooses, he will be here. It comes down to free will. Each of us have choices that we can make. We have free will to be here, not be here, to come from a place of love or come from a place of judgment. That doesn't mean we should never feel those feelings. But when you come here to the world viewing room, be pure of thought, pure of heart. Allow yourself to heal. Bring others with you. Set them inside the prism so they can heal if they can't do it on their own. Know that we are surrounded by a light brigade. We have an army up here with us. They are the forlorn hope, the lost children. They are the light workers. And I mean light. They went in charging, ready to help people, even though they didn't have the artillery that they needed to fight this battle. They are now with us. This is our divine light. I'm going to call them the Light Brigade. And they are all around us, helping us during this difficult time. Come here when you have a sister, as I do, who is a nurse and on the front lines, or if you have a friend, or if you just want to come up here and pray for everyone in the Light Brigade, the Earth Light Brigade. Come here. I didn't know that this divine journey started in January when all this started with astro traveling. And it's becoming clearer and clearer. And by the way, for whoever said something about Trump, on Monday last week, like I said, everything always starts with a word and I hear it out loud. I'm clairaudient and I heard Trump. And it was interesting because I was going to the bathroom at the time. And people always say that he tweets at the time that he's in the bathroom. I don't know if that's true, but I envisioned that and I just started laughing. But I heard it out loud. I heard his name out loud and I actually got up and looked around and I thought somebody was in the house and said it. It was so loud. And I heard it 3 times. The 2 voices after that were softer, but I thought maybe it was my echo, my Alexa speaking or something. And I didn't know where it came from because it was so clear and loud. And then 3 days later, it was announced that he had been exposed to the coronavirus. I do not know what this means yet. I do not have anything clear, but it does feel like the 2 are connected somehow, but I'm not clear on that. And so I'm going to be coming up here and I'm going to be meditating on that and just asking for clarification as I continue to get the divine downloads. And then I hope next week that I will have the poem for you that I'm told will be coming through me that I'll be channeling. I want to thank you all for joining me here in the light of this beautiful world viewing room. There's room up here for everyone, you know. All of our animals are up here too. And by the way, you can put your animals in the prism as well. Let's take a deep breath as we come back down to this earth plane, knowing that we can enter into the world viewing room anytime, this beautiful light room. Know that the Light Brigade is around us always. Take a nice deep breath and release. I want to thank you all for being here. And do we have any questions or comments? I am being reminded always that each and every one of you are also being called to channel information. And when you do, please share it.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
We're finally heading back home to Tennessee, so we're driving. We don't want to be in any place where there's. But Mike wanted everybody to just keep a flight attendant that's in the hospital in Atlanta kind of in their prayers with COVID. And I've been, like you said, I'm starting to put people now into the healing chamber and what I've been doing is when I've been doing a meditation, I've actually been taking the earth and just placing it in my heart and just sitting in that chamber. And it's just been really peaceful. And I think if we just all continue to do what we're doing, we're going to, change this world.
If I can say something too, if you don't mind.
Yes, yes.
Every time I hear Farris, and I've been wondering about him and what's happened to him. I don't know the full aspects. I'm driving, by the way, and stuff, but of what's happened to him. But anyway, every time I hear that name, just on a funny note, I hear Bueller.
Oh, God.
That's
And I love making people laugh because that's what makes the world go around is a little bit of laughter and joy.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
Michael rowed your boat ashore.
I've got to show you something. Hang on. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
While you're bringing it up, Renee says, thank you so much. Blessings to all, and especially mothers today. And I wanted to, because I have friends and family in Europe. I think someone told me it's starting tomorrow in the Netherlands. Are starting to slowly open back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to share some news of hope that things are starting to open up in Europe, and so. There's the good news to share to you all.
Yeah, they're starting to open up all over the place. And
as someone said, we're beginning the experimental phase.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary.
This is when we need to go into the world viewing room, because I heard very clearly 77,000 in July. And I hope that doesn't have to be. And I believe that a lot of the forlorn hope, the lost children, are going to be the ones in the front line of this experiment. This is what I'm being told.
Cindy, I printed it out. Do you want me to show it real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me see.
I haven't had time. There you are. I didn't realize. There it is, everybody. She's got it.
This is a design on a PDF file that Cindy sent to Andrew. And you can print it with an Avery software onto t-shirts.
Okay.
So this, I would love to see this on everybody's t-shirt, you guys.
So we're all gonna, this was from Ferris Bueller. This is what reminded me of it. I forgot to share this. And they had a whole campaign, Save Ferris. And so
that's funny.
Save
That's
Ferris
funny.
2020. So all the light workers out there, continue to send love and light to Farris. You can send it to that prism, which reflects beautiful rainbow of colors, which represents all of the chakras and the earth colors. Well, I just thank all of you for being here today. I thank you for sharing your Mother's Day with us. I love you all.
Love you guys. Love you, Farris.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to both.
Thank you all.
Love
And Shirley, yes.
you all.
That was funny.
Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
I love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
everyone.
Namaste.
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 Namaste.